So I guess we'll see. All right. So last night, Smart Guys, okay? The wrestling commentary show over on DSP Reacts and of course on my Kick channel. Few things to cover here because there's some important stuff to discuss regarding the show. First of all, it's canceled completely. We're never doing it again because PPP betrayed me horribly, and he's a horrible person. He's a snake. You're of the snake, right? So that's it. It's done, of course. At least that's what morons were saying all week because they're morons. But of course not. Last night went well. We had a great show. First hour was our shtick of, begging for donations and razzing and going back and forth and just talking about everything but wrestling. And the funny part is, from what we're seeing, half the audience likes that and half the audience absolutely hates it. Really. So some of the audience is like, wow, we like it. It's fun. It's something different. It's a different side of Phil because I don't really do that kind of stuff here in my normal content. So it's good to see me come and be out of my comfort zone and be on the hot seat a little bit. And to be honest, I think it's fun. I don't do that stuff normally in my own content, right? I don't. And to actually reach out a little bit and do different stuff, I feel is exciting and fun. The thing is, I don't want it to be every show, but to have a venue where I can cross over with someone else from a different kind of content and have that kind of exposure is fun. Okay. But some people just don't get it. I think what it is I've been through so much over the last, 10 to 15 years and all the abuse and all the slander and bullshit on the internet. People don't get that when I'm there with Ashton, it's different. That it's not meant to be malicious. It's actually supposed to be funny because it's hard to take a joke when you've been the butt of abuse for 10 years. I get it. But I'm changing and learning to take jokes and everything, and I think that the show is better for it. So I do hope that people will tune in and listen. If you're watching Smart Guys just for wrestling commentary, you can literally skip the first hour of the show last night and just skip to the final 90 minutes, and you're going to get the wrestling commentary portion. Okay, just being honest. But I enjoyed it, all right? So, had a great show last night. Attendance was good. Support at first wasn't that good, but of course, PPP going into his crazy preacher beg mode and went so overloaded that boom, all of a sudden people started contributing and the floodgates opened and we almost hit our goal by the end of the night, which is crazy because for me, I want you to think of it this way. For me, $500 on any given stream is like an insanely huge win. For me, be honest, right? I don't make that much at all. On a good day, I'll just hit the goal on a stream. For PPP, that's like that's like underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Take a look at how they do on Kino Casino. The insane amount of support that they get over there. So for him, he's really working hard, to try to get us to hit this $500 goal on the show. And geez, when he gets into it, it's actually exhausting for me. Like I'm sitting here listening to him and I'm starting to sweat and I'm not even the one talking and I'm starting to sweat the way that he goes crazy, right? Pretty nuts. But anyway, I felt it was a good show. Okay. Now a couple things that come out of this. Number one of the things, all right, that came out of it was that we were talking about, it's been advertised on the WWE product for weeks, these Topps WWE collector cards. All right. So it's the same as any cards that I used to do back in the day. Like I used to collect cards. I used to be into Marvel, like X-Men and Marvel Masterpieces cards and stuff like that. But they're made by Topps. Topps has been around forever. I used to collect Topps baseball cards in the 1980s. So they've been around the longest, I think, from most companies. And they're advertising them heavily on WWE TV. So we were talking about, gee, why don't we actually get a box of these, right? And we can actually spend a segment unpacking the packs and looking to see if we get rare cards, like an autograph card or one of the chase cards or whatever. It could be like a fun thing to do. So we're like, yeah, I think we'll actually do it. So after the show, I went online to look into it. Basically, exactly what I thought is true. So back in the 90s, when I used to be into this stuff, collecting was pretty nuts. All right? Because in the 90s, it was the height of the comic book era where everyone thought that every single comic book, every single collectible you bought was going to insanely exponentially increase in value and that you were going to be able to buy something for $5 and it was going to be worth $5,000 in just a few. People were that ignorant. But since then, the cold collector thing has exploded worse and worse, quite frankly. All right. I looked it up last night. Get this. For a box of 2025 WWE Topps trading cards. So I'm not talking about, 4 packs where they charge you like $30. I'm talking about the full box that you would see at the store because that's what you used to get. You would buy the whole sealed box, sit there opening packs, looking for chase cards, collecting, building your set and stuff like that. That was the incentive. That was the point of it. And it was fun. It actually was a lot of fun back in the day. A box of those cards, you can't buy. Want to know why? They're all sold out. Those cards came out 2 weeks ago. It was, I think, February 1st. They went up for sale, and collectors immediately ran to get them. And when they got them, they bought them all up. So you literally cannot buy a box of those cards unless you buy it from like a scalper. Okay? And the scalping prices are insane. Absolutely fucking insane. All right? I was looking online, like, where can I get it legit? And where can I get it the fastest? Here's the best I could find. I'm not even kidding you. I wish this was an exaggeration. $380 for a box of the cards, and they won't ship it to me until April. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, I remember this. This is how it used to be. Like, no lie. The only way that I could get a box of cards back in the day was I had to pre-order it at my local comic book store, back when comic book stores existed. So back then, you would actually talk to like the owner or whatever and be like, hey, listen, I want to pre-order a box. I'll pay for it ahead of time. Can you order it for me? And they would order it for you ahead and they would hold it for you. So no one could rush the fucking store and try to buy it on release day and you can't get it. So that's pretty much the situation with these cards. All right. Like, I would love to get a box of them, but they're not readily available. And you can't even get them right now. They're telling you have to wait like over 2 months, right, to even get them. So listen, maybe I just don't know the avenues to get them. If anyone out there is aware, hey, is there a way that DSP could actually get a box of these cards quicker and for less than $400? Even if I was spending up to like $100 or something on a box, I think that'd be reasonable and get something out of it. It would be a fun segment and a fun thing to do. Maybe I could open a few packs a week. You know what I'm saying? Looking for the chase. Maybe we do 5 packs a week. Like, well, did Phil get the chase this week? Did he get it this week? Could he get in the pack this week? What's the best card he pulled this week? That could be a segment for smart guys that could work. But I need to be able to get them. The problem is the time. Like, I'm not going to wait 2.5 months to get my hands on these things. You know what I'm saying? So, let me know if anyone has any knowledge of this, because I've been out of the collector's loop for a long time. So maybe you guys know better than I do, how to get them. I would love to know what I could do. All right. Please give me the info and we'll go from there. Because we thought it was a great segment. And then I looked it up last night, kind of deflated the whole goddamn thing. Like, oh, seriously? Like, that's the situation? We can't get it any faster than that? So FYI, next week, there is no episode of Smart Guys because, as I said, I've canceled the show. I was so snaked and felted by PPP with his actions that I cannot stand to do another show with him, and the whole show has been canceled from the ground up. It's done. Okay? I'm totally not joking. No. Kino Casino guys, Ashton and Andy are going on vacation. So because of that, they're not doing their show next week either. So obviously, I can't. I could do Smart Guys solo. I really could. But to be honest, do I want to? No. The whole show is us interacting off of each other. Ashton brings the energy. I bring kind of the layman's perspective, not having watched wrestling in a long time. We're different people for sure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing the show next week. Okay? When it comes back, it'll be in 2 weeks. And it's going to be the post-Elimination Chamber show because the Elimination Chamber is March 1st. So it'll have already, happened. And we're going to be recapping the Elimination Chamber. And, of course, the Raw after and all of that. So there you go. Okay, 2 weeks for Smart Guys. It means next week there's going to be some more gameplay. Cool. Anthony says you can